Hello again, Movie Club. It is going to be my LTA review of the movie Rain Man. And all I can say about this is that this was a great movie. This is just as good as I was hoping it would be. And I would say there's just so many things that make this movie so good. First off, the acting. You know, the acting in this movie was just great. You know, obviously you have Dustin Hoffman, which, a lot of people are probably going to be talking about, and where everybody's going to be doing their own Rain Man impression, and I don't want to be Rain Man impression number 37 in this video. Um, but really, the performance that I really liked was Tom Cruise, because if there's anybody I could picture playing like an egotistical, money-driven asshole, Tom Cruise would be the person, and he really proved it in this movie too. Because he played that character to perfection, pretty much. Another thing about this movie is that there are a lot of like these short, charming, kind of funny moments where it's like, you know, it's kind of like these moments where nowadays it would just kind of be, you know, it wouldn't be like it nowadays. Like I think the scene in particular I'm thinking of is when Tom Cruise and Dustin Hoffman are dancing up on the balcony, because with the way I've seen that, being portrayed and everything I've watched, it's gonna, it would end up with somebody else walking into the room and like making a gay joke. But no, they don't, they're like, no, we're not gonna do that. And that just made it so much better because it added a lot of charm to that scene. And, it's kind of like the scene just a little bit later where Dustin Hoffman kisses Tom Cruise's girlfriend in the elevator. Uh, And that was another thing. The character progression throughout. I mean, obviously the big change would be Tom Cruise, but Dustin Hoffman as well. These two main guys, you just see them, change throughout the movie. You get to see them progress. Like, Tom Cruise is kind of, it takes a while for him to change, but by the end of the movie, you see that, he can't control this. Tom Cruise goes from being this, like, angry, you know, almost bitter asshole, and then he just becomes like a loving brother to Raymond. And at the same time, Dustin Hoffman, he doesn't change all that much, but he still learns a lot more. Like, he learned how to dance, he had his first kiss, he did all this amazing stuff. And I would say the card counting thing, like this movie gave the perception that card counting is illegal. Card counting actually isn't illegal, but it's just really looked down upon in casinos because they don't want to lose money. And I'll say, I just think it's amazing the fact that people are actually able to do that. People are actually able to go in there, count cards, and like bankrupt casinos. And meanwhile, only card game I'm good at is 52 pickup. Uh, that being said, I only have one problem with this movie. And the one problem I have with this movie is actually right at the very beginning of this movie. And at the beginning of this movie, Tom Cruise, you know, gets his brother out of there and they go across the country. How did nobody stop Tom Cruise from getting Dustin Hoffman out of there? How is there like no security guard there saying, "Hold up, this isn't right"? I mean, that kind of really put me off for a while during this movie. But obviously, this movie was great, but that was just the one thing that really bothered me was that, I'm pretty sure there's going to be somebody to stop you. All right? Otherwise, all those people would try to leave at one point or another. But overall, it is a great movie. Definitely check it out if you have the time. It's a little long, it's about 2.25 hours. But if you have the time, definitely check it out. It's a great movie.